The NFL has announced the rule changes for the upcoming NFL season, and I think there's one in particular that very much stands out as a positive development for the Dallas Cowboys. We'll break it all down for you on today's show. I do want to run through all of the rule changes overall here. First up, the NFL is going to allow more throwback jersey usage, so you can now wear that 4 times in a given season as opposed to just being able to do it extremely in a limited sense there. So these jerseys, these ones with the blue star on the white helmet and the throwback style, you can wear more. I am a big fan of these jerseys. If you want the Cowboys to wear them up to the 4 times they are now able to, and you like them, show it by liking today's video for me right now. I think I'm a big fan, but I want to hear what you guys have to say as well. All right, more rule changes, kind of rapid fire here. Both teams, much like in the postseason, will get the ball in overtime, a chance to win. Hopefully it does not lead to more ties since those are un-American. They are adjusting the timing and the what you're able to do in the legal tampering period. This is a temporary rule. It's going to be a trial run for the upcoming free agency next year. So we'll see how that plays out. Shouldn't really change much, but it's just kind of like allowing more things that already happened. There will be expanded replay assist for penalties. They don't really use it as much as they should/can, but they can, if there's an obvious bad call that gets with a flag that comes out, replay can overturn it. It cannot be adding a flag, though. The K-balls, the kicking balls, have tweaked the rules to allow more time to kind of prep those going into game day. Nothing too crazy. Shouldn't have any kind of obscene chaos on that front there. There's more postseason scouting prep that will be available as well. You can now your teams have to allow you to go to like week 17, week 18 games for potential opponents if you are in the playoff hunt. A shorter Thursday night football flex from 28 days down to 21. We'll see if that gets used. And instead of having to do the whole like carry guys through roster cuts and then put them on IR, you can now just place 2 players on injured reserve at roster cut downtime. So that's just a logical one that just makes everyone's lives easier and no like gotta carry them through. You get 2 that don't count against your eligible to return limits. But the biggest change is this, even if it's only 5 yards. The NFL is changing touchbacks with the new what last year was new with the return rules. Instead of touchback gets the ball at the 30, you now get it at the 35-yard line. That's only 5 yards. That's a big difference for the Dallas Cowboys with what they have on special teams. I'll break down why, but how do you feel overall about the Cowboys special teams unit? Grade it for me. A, B, C, D, or F. Let me know at the pinned comments of today's show. The ad comes here on YouTube. Take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know. The Cowboys have weapons on special teams. 2 of them in particular. Brandon Aubrey is one of, if not the best kicker in the National Football League. Kavontae Turpin is one of, if not the best return man in the National Football League. Last year, the NFL, per their data, had a 32.8% kickoff return rate. That was up about 10%, or almost 15% actually, from a season low last time around. And the goal with this change, from what the NFL has said, their goal here is to be able, as unusual as this might sound, to double it. They want to get that number up into the 60% range, up into the 70% range. They are asking for sizable growth as it relates to this. They want substantially more returns, which means more returns for one of the most dangerous players in the NFL in that area. Turpin had 21 kick returns back in 2022. That number dipped to 10. Teams just said, nope, we're not going to kick to you. And then this past year, his numbers went way up to 27. 904 kick return yards, touchdown against the Commanders. Got some more punt returns too. The return rate for Turpin was similar enough that I think you can still expect a double there. If you go from 27 kick returns to 50 plus kick returns, that's just more touches, more opportunities, and more return on your investment. Pun not intended, for a guy you just paid this offseason. So how many touchdowns on returns will Kavontae Turpin have this year? Let me know in the comment section of today's show. Now, with the rules here, if you don't want to kick it to Kavontae Turpin, you say, nope, we're just going to try to boom it deep, a touchback means you are 15 yards away from a Brandon Aubrey field goal. You're basically one CeeDee Lamb catch away from, okay, we are now in field goal range. That's really good for you. Aubrey was electric last year as a kicker. He has been one of the best kickers. He's our resident alien since he entered the NFL. And he's done the majority of his work from deep. He's at almost 90% on kicks beyond 50 yards. He's got more 50-plus yard kicks than he does anything else. Because once they're in range, they'll kick the field goal. And if they're still in go-to-goal territory, they'll go for it, too. So now NFL teams face kind of a tough decision here. Do you kick it to Kavontae Turpin, who's dangerous, dynamic, electric? You run the risk of a bad return. Do you hope for a holding penalty, which is maybe why you didn't give him an A in the grades? Or do you say, let's just kick it out of the end zone, not worry about it, and we'll take our chances that the Cowboys need a 1st down and a half to get into field goal range? There's not really a great decision for opposing teams. That's a benefit for Dallas. Now, you can get the NFL draft hats that are available now, plus the pin, the America's Team pin, over on Fanatics. It's chatsports.com/Cowboys Draft. Link will be in the comments section and the description of today's show. A black hat and a slightly darker black hat is available as well, plus more of the cream coloring style. Also new this year, hoodies, plus a t-shirt, which I think the hoodie's more intriguing. Go get yours today, chatsports.com/Cowboys Draft. Link will be in the comments section and the description of today's show. Now, speaking of Brandon Aubrey, it is extension time. I should have mentioned him on our video the other day. That's hand up, that's on me. He's up for a new extension, and it's going to be expensive because guess who Brandon Aubrey's agent is? It's Todd France. You, and the Cowboys should know this too, you ain't getting a discount on Brandon Aubrey's deal. You are staring down the barrel of record-setting kicker money, which isn't actually all that much. Right now, it's Harrison Butker at less than $6.5 million per year, $17.75 million guaranteed. That's not a big issue at all. I mean, you're seeing backup offensive linemen get that amount of money. It's not a problem at all. So would you make Brandon Aubrey the highest paid kicker? Y for yes, N for no. Go vote for me where else with the comment section of today's show. One more note. With more kick returns expected, I think the value of your core and key special teamers is going to increase. If you're doubling kick returns, that's double the snaps you're going to give those, well, not snaps, but impact plays. You're going to have to ask them to make stuff happen on. The leading returners from this Cowboys team in terms of tackles, C.J. Goodwin back, Hunter Lipke, Buddy Johnson, Kamon Hall are not roster locks. Wanye Thomas is. The snap count-wise, again, C.J. Goodwin, Israel Mukwamu. We'll see about Buddy Johnson. Damone Clark, not guaranteed a roster spot. Wanye Thomas is back. They've also added 3 players, I'm cheating on one, who can help you on special teams as well. Jack Sanborn played a ton of special teams for the Bears. He can help you out there. Peyton Turner played a decent amount. How they want to juggle like their numbers game in terms of who plays and what. Do you want an edge out there? Do you want more linebacker, tight end, safety bodies? Receivers have to help you. And Marquise Bell missed a bunch of time last year with injury, but he was on pace to be among your team leaders. He played like roughly half the games, so you can double those numbers, and now you're kind of like near the top. He's also back on a pretty cheap deal. One more thought to get to here, but first, we are a little over 500 subs away from 212,000 subscribers. Hit that sub button. Free Cowboys videos every single day, multiple times per day, right here on the Cowboys Report. I think even more so than some previous years, your day 3 draft picks, always keep an eye out for special teams. This is stuff I've added over the years to my draft notes. I keep track of these special team snap counts. Because if you're a day 3 pick, look, you got to help on special teams. You get maybe 1 or 2 slots in that like 40 to 53 range, even sometimes like 35 to 53 range of, hey, this guy's on the team, but guess what? He can't help on special teams. Like you have to be a contributor there. Especially when injuries mount, you need to be able to play there. It helps determine who makes the roster, who doesn't make the roster. And one thing Dallas might have their eye out for when they're looking at maybe drafting a receiver or a running back, they might look for a better backup returner because they're going to get more return chances. Well, if Kavontae Turpin, knock on wood, goes down, do we trust some combination of Wanye Thomas and Deuce Vaughn? The other receivers don't really offer a ton of kick return value. I don't really think the other running backs do either. So if they draft a running back, whatever that is, if they help on returns, that's an added bonus. It's not going to make or break a decision, but I think it is something the Cowboys should keep in mind and consider, especially as they get further along into this year's NFL draft.